My in-laws demanded I hand over my newborn baby to their daughter because she couldn't have kids and my husband agreed. Now my parents have shown up with legal papers and my mother-in-law is having a meltdown. Hi Reddit, I, 28F, am completely devastated and need advice. I never thought I'd be posting here, but I'm desperate and don't know where else to turn. My hands are shaking as I type this, and I keep having to stop to wipe away tears. What should have been the happiest time of my life has turned into a complete nightmare. I'm writing this from my daughter's nursery, watching her sleep peacefully in her crib, terrified that every noise I hear might be someone trying to take her from me. I just gave birth to my first child 2 months ago, and my in-laws and husband have put me in an impossible situation. I'm still emotional and recovering from childbirth, so please bear with me. My husband Jake, 31M, and I have been married for 4 years. We met in college and had what I thought was a perfect relationship. He was always so kind and supportive, and I truly believed we were soulmates. When I got pregnant last year, we were both overjoyed. Jake cried when we saw our first ultrasound, and he was amazing throughout my pregnancy, attending every appointment, helping with my cravings, and even painting the nursery himself. Now I wonder if any of it was real. His sister Sarah, 35F, has always been the golden child of the family. From the moment I entered the picture, I could see how the family dynamic worked. Everything revolved around Sarah's needs and wants. My in-laws would regularly cancel plans with us if Sarah needed anything, and Jake would drop everything to help her, even on our anniversary once. I tried to be understanding because I knew she was struggling with infertility, but looking back, I can see how unhealthy their relationship was. Every family gathering turned into a pity party for Sarah, with my mill constantly reminding everyone how unfair it was that Sarah couldn't have children while other people, looking pointedly at me, got pregnant so easily. I just gritted my teeth and endured it, never imagining it would come to this. She's been trying to have a baby for years but couldn't conceive due to medical issues. While I sympathize with her struggle, what happened next is beyond cruel. 2 days ago, my in-laws and Sarah showed up at our house unannounced. I was nursing my newborn daughter Emma when they barged in. My mill immediately started cooing over the baby while Sarah just stood there staring at us with this intense look. Then my Phil cleared his throat and said they needed to discuss something important. That's when they dropped the bomb. They wanted me to give Emma to Sarah. Not for adoption or anything legal, they literally expected me to hand over my newborn to Sarah to raise as her own. Their reasoning? Sarah deserved to be a mother more than me because she'd been trying longer, and since we're young, we could just have another one. I thought they were joking at first, but they were dead serious. The worst part? When I looked at Jake for support, he wouldn't meet my eyes. He actually agreed with them and said we should consider it because his sister had wanted a baby for so long. I burst into tears and clutched Emma closer while they all tried to convince me I was being selfish. I couldn't believe my husband would betray me like this. These people were literally trying to take my baby. I told them all to get out of my house. Jake tried to stop me, saying I was being hysterical and hormonal, but I threatened to call the police if they didn't leave immediately. They finally left, but Jake went with them, saying I needed time to think rationally about this. I immediately called my parents in tears and told them everything. My mom, who had always been polite but wary of my in-laws, broke down crying with me. She said she'd had a bad feeling about them from the start but didn't want to interfere in my marriage. My dad, who's usually the calmest person I know, was so angry I could hear him punching walls in the background. He kept saying he should have trusted his instincts when Jake wouldn't sign a prenup before our wedding. Within an hour, they had packed overnight bags and were on their way to my house, calling their lawyer friend on speakerphone during the drive. My mom kept asking if I needed anything from the store, diapers, formula, security cameras. My dad was making plans to install new locks and maybe even hire private security. Their immediate protective response made me realize just how much danger Emma and I might be in. My dad was furious. My mom came over right away to stay with me while I was still recovering. Jake has been staying with his parents and keeps texting me that I'm tearing the family apart and need to compromise. His family is telling everyone that I'm denying them access to their grandchild/niece and painting me as the villain. I'm heartbroken and scared. I can't believe the man I married would even consider giving away our child. I barely slept, terrified they'll try to take Emma while I'm resting. My mom has been helping with night feeding so I can get some rest. I don't know what to do. I love Jake but I can't trust him anymore. Should I leave? Am I overreacting? Please help. Update 1. Thank you all for your support and advice. The overwhelming response to my post has given me strength I didn't know I had. A lot has happened in the past week, and I'm still trying to process everything. Every time I look at Emma's innocent face, I'm reminded of how close I came to losing her to these delusional people. After reading your comments, I realized how serious this situation was and took action to protect Emma and myself. My parents helped me contact a family lawyer who was horrified by the situation. She immediately started working on emergency custody papers. We also documented all the threatening messages from Jake and his family. They've been continuously harassing me, saying horrible things about how I'm an unfit mother and threatening to call CPS with false claims. The most shocking development came when Sarah's husband John reached out to me privately. He found my number through a mutual friend and called me late one night, his voice shaking with emotion. At first, I was scared to answer, thinking it was another attempt by my in-laws to harass me, but something told me to take the call. What he revealed made my blood run cold.